Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today it's Space Fashion. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to go about the making of a female palazzo trouser. So if this is something you're interested in, keep on watching, and if you are still to subscribe to the channel, please do well to subscribe and also hit on the notification bell to get notified when I post more video. Alright, let's get started. So on this tutorial, we're making use of an Ankara. I actually made use of 2 yards of Ankara, a piece of chalk, and also your tape, your curve ruler, and also your ruler with your scissors for cutting. So for this tutorial, we'll be needing an stay for the band as well. So I'll go ahead now to open up my Ankara, which is actually the 2 yards I'm working with. So I'll just go ahead to open it up and then arrange it to the size of the tie. So just take your round tie measurement and go ahead to arrange your Ankara with it, adding 3 inches allowance to the measurements. So just watch what I do and you understand. So I'll just go ahead to properly fold my Ankara into two, just like as you see me done here. So just go ahead and fold it into two and then take your tie measurements, and then whatever you have for your tie measurement, just go ahead to add 3 or 4 inches to it. That's what you'll be using for the folding of the front piece. So that's what I'm just trying to do. So right then we'll move ahead now to take our waist to hip measurements. I'm just going ahead to remove 2 inches for my band from the waistline. So I'll just go ahead to draw my starting line. After drawing my starting line, guys, just as you've seen me done here, I'll move ahead now to measure from my waist to my hip. Remember, I'm taking 2 inches away from my band, so I'm just going to take 2 inches out from the waist and then take my hip measurement. I'll take my hip measurements now and go ahead to mark it out. My hip measurement is actually from my waist to hip is actually 8, just as you do. So I'll go ahead now to just mark it out. So guys, I'll go ahead now to take my crotch length from the waist measurement. So to get your crotch length, what you do is to actually sit down on the chair and then go ahead to take from your waist down to the chair. So this is actually the perfect way to get your crotch length. And just go ahead to do that and then mark it out. So guys, moving ahead from the crouch area, I'll go ahead now to take my length of my palazzo. So my length of my palazzo is 41 inches. So instead of using 41 inches, I went ahead to add 2 inches allowance, which I'm going to use to fold it in at the down part. So I have 41 inches for my length. I'll just go ahead to make it 43, which is 2 inches allowance for the folding of my palazzo. So I'll just go ahead and mark it there. I'll move ahead now to take my round hip measurement, guys. So whatever I have for my round hip, after dividing it by 4, I'll go ahead to add 1 inches for seam allowance. I'll just mark it there. So when I mark it on my hip area, I'll move ahead to mark the same thing I have on the hip on the crouch area, just as you've seen me done. And after doing that, I'll just go ahead to connect it to meet the waist. So guys, to get your crouch, what you do now is to divide your hip by 4 and then go ahead to add 1 inches to whatever you have. So I'll just go ahead to do that and then mark it out. And then after marking it out, just as you see me done, I'll go ahead to take my curve ruler and then just go ahead to connect to meet the crouch area. Moving ahead, I'll come down by 1 inch on this waist area. I'll just go ahead to come down by 1 inch and then take my ruler to meet the center front. So just draw a line to meet the center front of our trousers. Moving ahead, I'll go ahead to take my round waist measurements. Whatever I have for my round waist measurements, I'll divide it by 4. And so after dividing by 4, I have 9 inches. But I'm not going to be marking it 9 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch for seam allowance, just as you've seen me done here. Instead of 9, I made it 10. So the 1 inch is going to be for my seam allowance. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead to connect with my curve ruler to meet the hip area. So guys, I'm going to be taking the knee measurement, although we don't really need it because I'm making a palazzo trouser. But if you're making a pencil trouser, you can go ahead to take your knee there. So I'll just go ahead to take my knee measurement. So after drawing a straight line for the knee measurement, I'll come in by 2 inches, and from the hip area, I'll just go ahead to connect to meet that 2 inches I came in by. But because this is a palazzo trouser, I'll just go ahead to make a straight line from the hip area to meet the length of my trouser. So for the crouch area, I just came in by 1.5 inches, just as you see me done here. I came in by 1.5 inches, and then from that crouch depth of my crouch, I just went ahead to connect to meet that 1.5 inch I came in by. So before cutting, guys, I went ahead to just make some adjustments. So instead of 1.5 inch I came in by, I just went ahead to make it 1 inch rather, and then just take my curve ruler to connect to meet the crouch area, just as you've seen me done here. And so guys, that's basically all for our front piece. I'll just go ahead now to cut. And so for the back piece, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 2 as well, just like we did for the front. Just I added whatever I did for the front, I just added 4 inches allowance to it. So whatever I have for my front piece, I just went ahead to add 4 inches or 3 inches to it. So I'll just go ahead now to place the front piece on the back piece, just as you see me done here. Just go ahead to place it and arrange it properly. So after placing it, I have like 4 inches extra on the side, and also on the top I actually left 2 inches from that top. So guys, on the crotch area for the back piece, I'll go ahead to come out by 3 inches, just as you've seen me done here. I'll come out by 3 inches and then just go ahead to make a straight line to meet the front one. So on this particular part, I'll just go ahead to also come out by 1.5 inch, guys. So just come out by 1.5 inch or 2 inches, depends on the size of the person. So for this particular person, I'm just using 2 inches for this particular place, and I'll go ahead to take my curve ruler and then just go ahead to connect. So for the top part as well, before we connect, I'll just go ahead to come up by 1.5 inch. Remember, we left some inches at the top, so I'll just go ahead to come up by 1.5 inch and then connect to meet that line that will match. So I'll go ahead now to take my curve ruler and then connect the line to meet the crouch area. So I'll take my rule to connect the lines to meet each other at the waist. So that 1.5 inch I came up, I'll just go ahead to connect the line to meet the waist at the center front. So this is what I have, guys. So guys, I'll go ahead now to take the measurement for my zip. So because we came up by 2.5 inches, I'll just go ahead to come up from that particular place at the back area and then mark 9 inches. So just go up by 2 inches and then mark 9 inches. So whatever you mark there, just go in, come out by 1 inch rather. Sorry. So just come up by 1 inch, and which is going to be for our zip allowance. So just go ahead to mark 1 inch and then just go ahead to connect. For this area, guys, we'll be coming out by 2 inches. So just come out by 2 inches from this area. So you can come out by 2.5 inch or 2 inches. But for this particular tutorial, I'm going to come out by 2 inches because of the size of the person. So I'll just go ahead to mark that line straight down to meet the length of our trousers. So just go ahead to mark 2 inches down to meet the length of the trousers. So this is all for the drafting of the back, and after doing that, I'll just go ahead to cut. So after opening it up, I'll just go ahead to join the crotch area just as you've seen me demonstrated here. Just go ahead to join the crotch area with 1/2 inch, and on the back piece, I'll go ahead to do the same thing, just the crotch area with 1/2 inch. So just sew with 1/2 inch, and when you get to this zip allowance, just go ahead to make a top stitch there and then move ahead to join it. So guys, I'm done doing that. I've gone ahead to sew with 1/2 inch on the crotch area, and after doing that, I'll go ahead to open it up, and I'll just go ahead to open the front piece and then place the back piece on top of the front piece, right side facing right side. So I'll go ahead to join with 1 inch on both sides, just as you see me illustrated here. So just join it together, right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead to join with 1 inch. So the next thing we'll do after joining on both sides is to go ahead to join the couch area. So I'll just match the piece, the center together like this as you see me done, and I'll go ahead to join with 1/2 inch just round the couch area. So after doing that, guys, this is what we have. I'm gonna head to turn it open so you guys can see. So what I'll do next now is to fix my band. I'll go ahead to open up the zip area just like I've said. I'll just go ahead to open it up and then take my measurements round the waist so that I can use to cut out my band. Remember, on the zip area, we made a top stitch at this particular place where the zip allowance stops. So I'll just go ahead to open it up to meet that particular place there. And I go ahead now to bring my band. So I've already gone ahead to cut out my band. So what I cut out is actually 4.5 inches, and I went ahead to attach my stay. And on both sides of my band, I've gone ahead to bend it with 1/4 inch, just as you've seen me done here. So what I did was just to measure around my waist and use it to cut out the length of my band. So the next thing we'll do now is to sew our band to our trouser. So what we'll do now is the band, I've taken the band, I've go ahead to place the right side facing the right side. So just go ahead to place the right side of the band facing the right side of our trousers, and then go ahead from that 1/4 inch that we bent in, I'll just go ahead and open it up and make a top stitch and 1/2 inch just round the waist, just as you see me illustrated here. So just go ahead to sew it round like that. So guys, this is how it is looking. I've gone ahead to top stitch on that particular area I illustrated before. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead to cut out the excess from my band. Moving ahead, I'll go ahead to open it up just as you're seeing me do here. I'll just open it up. So just watch what I'm trying to do. I'll just go ahead to open it up like this and then take the other half inch I bent in and just use it to cover it up like this. And after covering it up, just go ahead to make a top stitch very close to this particular stitch I made before. So just go ahead to cover it like this and make a top stitch round it to meet the other side of zip allowance. So that's what I'm trying to illustrate here. So after doing that, what I'll do next is to just go ahead to bend in my trousers with the 2 inches I left for the seam allowance. So after doing that, this is what it looks like, guys. I've gone ahead to do that at the length area of my trousers, and I've also gone ahead to fix my zip just as you've seen me done here. So guys, we are actually done with the sewing tutorial, and this is all for making a female Ankara Palazzo trousers. If you actually enjoyed this video or you learned something, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell to get notified when I post more videos. And so guys, until my next video, bye.